And then I tried to play it hard because I noticed when I met Truth, we in his house, and if you notice, like, we go to take a picture, and I didn't notice it at the time, but when I look at the picture, I'm hecka cheesing, just like you know what I'm saying, like the biggest grin you can ever have. And so I made, you know, and it just kind of, in a way, just makes you seem like kind of corny, or like, you know what I'm saying. So when I was with Kirk, I tried to play a G, so I just had the little, you know, I tried to put the little mug on or something, like I wasn't really tripping. I wanted to just be like, you know, hecka happy, but I was like, nah, let me just, you feel me, put the little mug on. So like, I was on my lunch break at work, and I was just listening, you know, because I have like a little gospel mix on my iPod, so I was just listening to that, and The Storm Is Over Now actually came on, and as I was listening to it, like, I just started to kind of hear it in a different way, and I was paying attention to the I feel like I can make it piece, and, you know, just thinking about that piece, I wanted to sample that piece. And so when I went home, you know, I sampled it, flipped it, whatever, made the beat, and the beat was dope. And then just when I was thinking about the concept, I was just kind of like walking, writing, and thinking, and that just came to me. Just the concept, like, out of everything that I've been through, out of all the people that I've got a chance to meet or work with, or just be in the presence of, to kind of soak up game and all that, like, I really feel like with my ministry and what I do, I can be effective just in the world. You know, I don't necessarily have to be big, I don't have to be famous, like any of that other kind of stuff, but I just really feel like what I say in my songs and in my music has a powerful message behind it. And I feel like if people hear that, the people that it's for, if the people that it's for hear that, they'd agree. So that was like the whole concept of the song. And then I later started to think about it, because I was like, nah, you know, because I don't want people to get the wrong idea. Because when you sample something like, you know, Storm Is Over Now, like, that's, you're crossing like a, you know, red zone, if you will. Because you got some people who will listen to it and just be like, oh, you know, that's tight, you know, the way you flip that sample. But then you got other people that'll just be, you know, they think it's blasphemy that there's this guy rapping, you know, on this church song. Like, they might find that to be the most disrespectful thing ever. And it wasn't like that at all. And then when I really thought about it, I was like, the first time that I heard Kirk, it wasn't like the He's Able and all that stuff. Because Kirk I first heard Kirk when I heard Stomp. Like, I was cleaning up in the house, watching BET. Just everything is playing, right? You know, just everything is playing from Tupac to whatever, you know, whatever ends up coming on. That's what comes on. And then you hear Stomp come on, and when you never heard it before, and you just kind of listening to it, you would think it's just a regular jam until you hear him talking about, you can't take my joy down. You know, you hear all that kind of stuff, and it's like, hold on, this is church. And then when you know, when you look at it, because when I heard the I promise, you know what I'm saying, because that's Funkadelic. You know, that's George Clinton and them. So when I heard it, you know, I was ready to get going. But when I really just broke it down and thought about that, it was just like, Kirk had bangers way before that. He had projects way before that, but I had never heard them. It wasn't until he sampled, you know, the little Funkadelic joint, or, you know, used that kind of thing and had Salt over it and just had the little banger, that people really started to pay attention. And then after that, that's when they were into the He's Ables and the Silver and Golds and everything else that he had made prior. And that's when it was really like, yo, you know. And so when I thought about it, I was just like, that's crazy. Because I personally have 3 projects myself with songs that have, you know, good messages, and that people who know about me already adapt to already anyway. And so it was like, rather than me sampling, because, you know, the church is real funny about how they take stuff when you sample from the world. So I was like, rather than me sampling, you know, anything from the world, let me sample something that's from the church. So like, what can they say about it? Like, if I sample another gospel artist to make a song with the powerful gospel message, like, how can you, I mean, I know that there are going to be some people who don't like it, but I'm just saying, like, my message speaks for itself. My ministry speaks for itself. Like, I even without me sampling that song, like if you just look into the stuff that I've done, from the If You Feel to the Never Left to the whatever, like if you just check into anything that I've done, I'm pretty sure, you know, you'll at least see my message and see how effective it is. With Truth, it's a little different. After meeting Tone, I started getting like a cool amount of exposure and the ability to network with certain other people, which is, I don't know. I mean, I think it's kind of whack, but I mean, it's the industry. Like that's how it is. So it's like a lot of people won't pay you attention until you've done something with someone that's a popular name or a household name that they can identify you with, and then they'll take a listen to you. They won't, like if I just said, hey, you know, I'm a producer, I make beats for, you know, gospel artists, the average person would just kind of like, eh. But when you say, hey, you know, I'm a gospel producer, you know, I actually produced a remix for Tone, and for Tone? Oh yeah, you know, and then after that, now they, you know, want to hear like that kind of thing. So, being that I started to get that ability to network, after that, I just started hitting people up and just kind of like putting it out there. Hey, this is what I do. You know, let's link up, let's build. And even if we can't work together for the ministry, at least let us, you know, like just build, you know, as brothers and sisters in Christ or whatever. But a lot of people that I hit up just, you know, either ignore it, like they didn't reply, or they reply with the, we're not really interested, but, you know, God bless, kind of, you know, hit me with that one. So I was like, all right, cool. You know, no hard feelings. But the one person who did hit me back was a guy by the name of David Thomas. And when he wrote me, because I was actually writing Truth. I wrote Truth on his MySpace page. And Dave hit me back. And he was just like, yo, I'm Truth's road manager, because at the time Truth was on tour with Kurt and them. So he just let me know, like, I'm Truth's road manager. Anything that you may need to get to Truth, I'll be able to pass it on for you, you know, because I pretty much handle his business while he's on the road. So I was like, cool. And I was blown back by the fact that he even responded. So I was just flat out like, look, hey, that's great. Like, if you can pass this along to him, that's cool. But even if you don't, like, I just appreciate you for hitting me back. Like, you know, like that's, you know, and I just appreciated that alone. And I'd also told him, like, just because after talking to Tone, like, I learned so much just from him giving me the game. I was like, hey man, if there's any advice you can give me, just, you know, just whatever on the word, on you know, the industry, or just anything that could help or be beneficial, let me know. And he was like, cool. And, you know, stay true to his word. Like, we would rap here and there every blue moon, just, you know, I'd ask him stuff, he'd give me answers, or he'd hit me up sometimes just to check on me and see how I was doing, make sure I was staying in my word, make sure I was walking right and doing the things I needed to be doing, taking care of business. And so that was pretty much our relationship, and we built off of that. I was in school at the time. Doing a going for film, and one of my projects that I had to do was to make this little like 15-minute like short project, mini movie, something like that. Anyway, I ended up doing like this kind of TV type show thing where I did parodies, and I actually did a parody of Prince's Kiss video, and then I did D'Angelo's How Does It Feel, you know, for my project. And my class, like, when they seen it, dying, like, you know what I mean, like they loved it. And in the school, it even got to the point to where the school just played it like in the rec center just randomly. So I just had all kind of people on campus and stuff like, yo, that's the dude who did whatever. And yeah, that was my little thing at the time. So I ended up putting it on YouTube just so like my peoples back home could see. And, you know, it was just kind of a funny, silly thing that I was doing. And I don't even know why I did, but I ended up posting it on Dave's MySpace page. And then after I sent it, I was like, maybe I shouldn't have did that.